Who?
All right, let's talk about this trade. This is a big trade. Cherry picking daddy, picking up Ryan Nugent Hopkins and two 16s from Captain Crunch for a Killorn, a seventh, and a 10th. Kyle, tell me about this trade.
Yeah, so I probably overpaid a little bit for this trade, but I don't care. I've been after Nuge for several years. I've been making offers for him for several years, and I've really wanted him as part of my keeper base. Nuge is having an outstanding year this year. Uh, he's playing on McDavid's line. And yeah, I went and spent some because I'm trying to fill out my keeper base here. This is going to give me a top tier forward, and it gives me something to keep going into next year. So it's not a guy who's going to get dropped, right? Because what else do I have? I have Marshall. I'm going to keep. I got Kochetkov. I'm going to keep. Like beyond that, I got what
Terry.
Terry Buck. Like I got. I don't really have much. So I didn't have to pay a sixth rounder for it. I think he knew I wasn't going to pay a sixth rounder for him, so I offered a seventh and a 10th for it, and I was pretty happy he took it. So the other thing too is that I do not want to win a golden dick. So that's my other piece of my motivation here is I do want to win some games. I don't want to make the playoffs, but I want to win some games. I don't want to win a dick. So this is part of that strategy to not win a dick.
That's fair. That's a good strategy. Don't win the dick. Uh, Corey, what do you think of it?
Yeah, Nugent Hopkins. He's interesting because I've always expected him to break out like he's been this year. So I mean, as long as he can keep producing at this pace, then for sure. I mean, he has 2 goals tonight already. So like, he's having a great season for sure. He doesn't have the deep stats, but like 20 some power play points already this season. Not having to pay a six is good for him. Uh, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have paid that price, but I could understand why somebody would, though, for sure.
I think it's a good move for you, Kyle. Again, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. We said that we're just talking about it, right? That you need to get a base of young players. That was your plan, and this is kind of guy who fits right into what you're looking for. You're buying for fairly cheap. You're not giving up much, and even oh no, a seventh, you have so many other high picks, right? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and this goes like somebody complained the other day. They're like, I want to make you a trade, but you know, all of your picks left are 11 or lower. And so I'm like, well,
It's a
I
bad
still have
problem to
piece.
have when you're a seller.
Yeah. So this way, this opens up that I can still move some players out and get back some of those picks that I spent
Yeah.
acquiring Nugent Hopkins, because I still do have some pretty good players to trade maybe later in the season. The other thing too, like obviously I'm going for young players next year, so this will give me a bit of a strong start for next season. And if next season, I'm not in the playoff picture, I can maybe move Marchand out, as Marchand is, starting to age out. He's 34 this year. Next year he'll be 35 and kind of coming into the twilight of his career. I don't know if he's going to be like Yager or Ovechkin, but usually
Played
34,
a heavy
35.
game in his youth, right? So that's gonna take its toll on him. Like,
But
Yeah.
injuries haven't been the worst for him either, though.
he just had
Been
hip
fairly
surgery
good.
right in the off season. Like
Yeah, besides that, but like, I mean, only the one injury. So it's not like he's injury prone.
he's not injury prone, but he's aging,
He plays
right?
a
So
rough game. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
the thing about Ovi, too, right? Everyone questions he'll catch him in goals if he can last.
I was telling that to Sean. Like I tell him for a couple of years now, like, you got to start thinking of like what does life look on your team without Ovi? Like he's still a great player, right? But is he worth keeping over a younger guy if you can have one? It's tough to say when you cut the cord on him, right?
Yeah.
My thoughts is this is
When
just me
when they're
yards
when they're
thing.
doing better than Ovi.
Yeah, well, if he's not in the playoffs though, like now might be the time to cut. Like not right now, he's still in the hunt of it, right? But
He's killing it.
get a haul for him now, or risk that maybe the offseason is still kind to him. He comes back and he's still scoring, or maybe it's not, and he comes back and he's just slowing down, right? Like I think he's gonna be good either way, but you got to think of when your keepers age out, like Kyle was saying with Marchand, like how long do you hold on to him before he loses all his value, and you're left like I held on to him too long, like.
Yeah, that's it, right? So, I mean, I trade Marchand this year, but like I said, it's going to be for a 6 from somebody who's not making the playoffs. Otherwise, I'm happy to hold him into next season, and then unless I'm in the thick of things next year, if I'm not in the thick of things, I'll unload him, and yeah.
You know what? I thought. Did you inquire? I don't know. I'm curious. Did you inquire about Nugent Hopkins before today?
No, he put it out on the chat, and I'm just like, I'm gonna put my offer in.
I messaged him to see what the price was. He said, "Oh, hold on, I got an offer yesterday. I want to see if it's still available. It's really good." They never came back around. And I saw the trade come. Oh, I was looking, but he never gave me a price. He just ignored me.
Would you have beat that?
Well, I could have with my 6 probably, but I don't know if I would. But I didn't know what the price was until I saw it. That's how I found out what the price was. I saw a 10 and a 7 come through. Like, ooh.
Like in previous seasons, I've offered a 6 for him, and he's said no. So,
you got the player you wanted now. You know.
Yeah, I got it. I'm happy. It gives me a bit of a competitive edge as I continue my quest to not win a dick.
Good luck.
What every grown man thinks they're going to be saying at 40. Can't wait to not win a dick. One last trade here. Do y'all try the beef? Picking up Brian Elliott at 213s, moving Seguin to Clefbaum for for 218s. Corey, as you're very familiar with Seguin, why don't you tell me about this?
I think it's a good price for Daltrey. I'm not really sure why he's going for him though, if he's deciding to sell, but it's not the worst price.
Well, he gave up Seguin.
Oh, he gave up Seguin.
Yeah, he moved Seguin.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's Kyle Clefbaum.
Yeah.
I can understand why he would go for him then to get the player upgrade for sure. That makes a lot more sense. I think it's a pretty good deal for him. Only having to give up 213th. I'd probably gauge Seguin around a 9th or 10th in value. Like he's pretty consistent this year. But
I like that he got rid of 218s though, right? So
yeah. Now somebody can only offer maybe a 13th, right?
Yeah, keep it
like
flowing.
That's his first pick. Yeah, exactly. Until he runs into what Kyle Bergeron ran into here.
I'd love to trade with you, but your picks are too good.
Yeah.
Oh shit. How do you think of the trade?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, he needs a little bit of goaltending. It's not a high price to pay.
No, I think he was just a throwaway player, right?
Probably, yeah.
You're gonna upgrade. You can pick Seguin up, give me a couple pick upgrades, no problem.
Yeah.
That's the thing when you're selling, right? You just gotta be able to be willing to move anyone that's you're not keeping. Just like these 5, like whatever. You give me an upgrade, cool. Let's do it.
Yeah. There has to be a price. There has to be a price. You can't be too cheap, right? Or then you get stuck just not moving. And just the more you can move and the more you can pick up, like
you have to have some flexibility, but don't just get ripped off. Don't give everything away, but like get a fair price and you get repeat business, right?
Yeah.
Especially from Domo.
Blind drunk offers on Saturday night.
All right. I guess what we're gonna do now. Oh, this is all fucked up here. There we go. Nah, we're gonna talk about this week's matchups.
Woo!
So, first match of the week. Team Ramrod, 8-1-1 in first place, taking on Cherry Pickin' Daddy, 1-9-0 in 16th place. Kyle, who do you got?
Yeah, I gotta go with myself here. I got 2 top 10 goalies in the league right now. Kochetkov, and to everybody's surprise, Anderson. Craig Anderson has been killing it this year. He'd be probably ranked higher if he wasn't splitting games, but his stats are out of this world. I got the Nuge now, and I'm feeling pretty good going to Christmas. It's going to be a Merry Christmas for me.
Oh, what do you think, Corey?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Shane.
That's fair.
I mean, I'm on this massive winning streak, Corey. Like, what's your problem?
Yeah, season high winning streak.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Corey here. Like he's saying Team Ramrod. I'm gonna agree with him. I'm not gonna trash talk it too hard, but it is a short week. Remember that. So anything happens. Only 5 days. Saturday, Sunday, there are no games. So it's gonna be a little messed up. Everyone's getting their stuff crammed in. Your pickups might be made a little sooner than later because you might not have another chance, right? So it'll be interesting. But I expect Team Ramrod will come out in the end with a victory. Only because only one person has not beat me. I guess Travis didn't beat me, but he didn't lose to me either. So
he avoided you.
Yeah, negated my win. Speaking of Travis, Braden bye week here at 5-4-1 in 6th place, taking on Domo or Captain Crunch at 4-6-0. Sitting, I believe that's 10th place or 12th. 12th, eh?
Yeah. 12th, yeah.
Kyle, who you got here?
I'm gonna go with Travis here. I think with Kemper being back, Lindgren will be probably only get the one game this week. And I think Travis just has better goaltending and better players. So yeah, I'll go with Travis. But Big Daltrey never ceases to surprise me. So
who you got, Corey?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Travis. Copley too in LA. Like you never know when Quick's gonna get the crease back. It's a rough season, but you never know, right?
Yeah.
Just a couple starts, like Bobrovsky's right back into it. Right, he Quick at some rest, maybe feeling better. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Travis. I think it just has the better upper end of the team too. His players are way stronger.
I think with the Travis, but I'm gonna go on record and say that Quick's probably not taking that back anytime soon. He didn't play a single game last week. Copley's probably going to start 2 of the 3 games this week. They have a back-to-back, so Quick will see some action. Same with Lindgren. Washington has a back-to-back later this week, I believe. So he should get another start as they ease Kemper back into the lineup. But I still think Travis' team is just better than Domo's, and he's going to pull up the victory even with those goalie starts from Domo. Neil. Suck my Ojic. Trying to rebound after embarrassment last week. 5-4-1, sitting out of the playoffs in 9th place. Taking on the next best thing since Kyle. I'll try the beef here, 2-7-1 and 15th. Could he lose against the bottom 2 teams in the league? Kyle, what do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think probably consensus team with the best goalies in the league is Neil. And one of the reasons I beat Neil is because I have 2 of the hottest goalies in the league. I was able to neutralize his goalies, but that's not going to be the case for Daltrey. Neil's goalies are too much, and then Neil's players are just going to take it to him. And I expect this to be a slaughter.
Ooh. Corey, what do you think?
I apologize for laughing. I just think Craig Anderson is one of the best goalies. Just makes me laugh every time. He's killing it. Like that save.
He usually gets one start a week, Craig. They keep him fresh, but he gets a great start every time. Every time.
Yeah, he's having for a 41-year-old, he's having a great season.
But they're smart about it, right? You're not going to carry the load. You're going to play a little bit here or there.
And I don't know how to pronounce his name, Luukkonen or something.
6K. We call him 6K.
6K, yeah. I mean,
he's 6K's in his name, so.
Oh, he's a great goalie too, So it's a tandem that's working out pretty well in Buffalo, I think.
Yeah, they're close to a playoff spot. Sorry, Corey, we cut you off there with our talk about Anderson. We got all excited here. Who were you saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Neil. He should have no issue this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo that. I don't understand. I don't see a reason why I should say Daltrey, so I'm not going to. Like Neil should take this, but he should have took last week and he didn't. So Wonton Soup here, Casey at 3-6-1 in 13th place, taking on Dude. Where's Makar? Dan here with 3-6-1 record in 14th. So these guys are actually tied. I mentioned this in the chat today. The first matchup is a big difference in standings. Braden and Domo, there's a little bit of space. Neil and Daltrey, I think there's about 3 points. But everyone else, all the other 5 matchups are either tied or within a point. So there's going to be some interesting standing movement after this week. This is one of those cases where they're tied. Kyle, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Casey. I like Casey's team. And the downside of Casey's team is his goaltending, but Dan's having a rough time with goaltending right now. And I feel like Casey has an edge player-wise. So I think with Dan's goalie troubles and Casey's good players, that Casey's going to take this week.
What do you think, Corey?
I like Dan's players, but I don't think the goalies be able to take him to the victory here against Casey.
Yeah, I'm picking Casey too. I saw what his team did last week. Those Dallas boys can be nasty, and I think they're gonna take it to Dan. I hope at least, or I'm gonna fall behind in some points here.
Well, we picked the same though, so
Not everyone though. We don't know. We don't know. Well, you do, I guess. You know, with Travis and Kyle. Jager Bombs in a little bit of a rut lately. 6-3-1 in 3rd place, taking on the Trash Man, who's on the rise. 6-3-1. Nick is in second. Well, they're tied, but Nick has the tiebreaker, I guess. Kyle, who you got?
Yeah, it's going to be a close matchup, I think. But I'm going to go with Braden this week. They didn't start Allen tonight in Montreal with the Montembeault against Arizona. So I don't know if Nick's going to get quality starts this week for his goaltending.
You don't think they'll do well against Colorado?
Probably not. We'll see, but I think Braden will he'll edge this one out.
What do you think, Corey?
I'm going to give this one to Nick. I think his goalies are going to be better for when they do get the starts. I think that's the biggest difference between the two teams.
Well, I still think even with Allen not starting, Bobrovsky and Vass have been so good. I think Nick's going to take this. Braden, he's relying on Ottinger because Campbell's not really started. Well, he started tonight, and it wasn't a great start. I just think Nick will take it in the end. I like Nick's keeper base better, and I think his goaltending is just better. And that's saying a lot because Ottinger is really good. So I'm not trying to pick on Brady. He has a really good team this year.
I'll just point out Campbell did get the start, but he picked up Hill on the waiver wire and Zach Campbell.
Oh, he didn't trust him. I don't blame him. That might be a smart move. Clefbaum, 5-4-1, currently sitting in 7th place. 1 point ahead here of Pacioretty and Rumble at 5-5 in 10th. Kyle, who you got?
I'm going with Clefbaum. Yeah, Nick's team doesn't seem to be playing well lately. And Kyle's been doing a lot better. I just kind of feel it. I feel like Kyle's going to take it.
Fair. What do you think, Corey?
Yeah, same thing. Kyle's goalies have been doing fairly well lately. And he's just he has a healthier team right now too, so he's going to get man games there. I feel like they're fairly close. Could go either way, but I'm going to give it to Kyle.
I was going to say Kyle too, but because I think his Vegas boys are just going to keep going on a tear. I just don't think, and Marner, like his offense is just way better than Patch's. I don't know. I don't trust any team that has Merzlikins on it. So And plus all those injuries, right? Like Landeskog, like dead roster space. You trade for a guy who's injured when you needed a player. Like,
Yeah, and Kane's out. Wheeler's out right now.
I know you said a few weeks ago we could afford to take some losses, but at this point, like 5-5, and the standings are so tight, like every loss hurts, especially when you're playing against a team in the mix with you. Like, we'll see. We'll see. That might be the undoing of Patrick Rumble is pulling the trigger on that trade, losing that goalie for a player who can't play. Like, we'll see. 7 on the ice, sitting in 8th place with a 5-4-1 record, playing against the Chris Kreidy Grease Crashers here at 4-4-2 in 11th place. So only a little bit of a point difference here. Kyle, we got?
I'm gonna go with Mark. I think Mark has a better team. I think Sean's goalies are maybe slightly better, just by a hair. So to me, like goaltending is a bit of a toss-up. Mark has the better players, I think. I think Mark takes this. I don't think 8th place is indicative of the team that he has.
What do you think, Corey?
I'm gonna give this one to Sean. I think goalie wise, you're right. They're both having pretty good years, and they're both running 2-on-1 team and one on another starter, and they're both doing well with it. But I just think Sean's team's gonna get the deeper stats, and I think that's just gonna be the benefit right there for him, give him the better odds at winning.
What's interesting about this week, because it's such a condensed schedule, no team plays more than 3 times this week.
It's a very balanced week, yeah.
Very balanced week.
Plays less than 2, so
yeah, there's a few teams that play 2, but like it's mostly 3s. I'm torn about this one. I was thinking Sean. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking Mark now. It's such a tight matchup. But in the spirit of trying to catch up in points, I'm going to pick Mark.
oh,
Huh?
the benefit of guessing second.
That's it. Or last. I don't know what the other ones are. You had the benefit of seeing what everyone else.
I don't look at anybody else's. Actually, I only look at to see if Travis picked me or not. Because if he doesn't, I'll.
He rarely does, I think. But...
You didn't pick me this week, no.
Well, let's get on to your matchup here. You're sitting at 5-3-2 in 5th place, taking on the 6-4-0 Rasmus Dahlin fan club in 4th place. The difference here being more wins for Derek. Let's start with you this time, Corey, just because it's your matchup here. Who you got?
Yeah, his Boston duo is running really hot for him. And his roster's not too shabby, but I got to give it to myself. Don't want to chirp too hard because it's not a very comfortable win.
It's not a comfortable prediction.
It's going to be a greasy win.
Kyle, who you got?
Just because fuck you, Corey, you picked Shane over me. I'm gonna go with Garrett. Just out of spite.
That's the only reason, for spite. Feel like this league runs on spite. I'm gonna pick Rasmus Dahlin. Again, pretty even. I see myself a chance here to maybe. I knew you're picking yourself here to maybe climb into some standings here a little bit. Could backfire though, because if it doesn't work out, then I'm further behind. But
I have 2 goalies out right now, Varlamov and Gibson.
I did see Varlamov got injured, so
yeah, not quite sure the details or severity of either of them, so I can't say much. But I mean, worst case is that they don't play, right? So its odds are better for you there.
Especially with only 5 days in the week, right? So all these starts, I think you're gonna see a lot of goalie pickups this week.
Yeah, I will. I'll be looking. That's for sure.
People are gonna be like, "Oh, there's a backup starting, grabbing him."
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be an interesting week. A lot of potential movement in the standings. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I love all these teams who are stuck together in a clump there in the standings, playing each other. I'm very anxious to see what the standings look like after next week. And Team Ramrod sitting comfortably at the top.
against
Harry
Kyle.
Big Daddy sitting comfortably at the bottom. Like, you know, we're the furthest away from everyone else. Like, we got no stress this week.
Just for the record, I am not comfortable at the bottom. I'm not comfortable being a bottom either. Like, I'd rather be a top.
Just be a starfish and just lay on the bottom. Just be.
You're not a
I'm
power
not star
bottom.
fishing for anybody.
Just be the Braden bye week. Come on.
I want to make you work for that to get off that trophy. You know. See,
Get
Yeah.
off that trophy.
He's gonna get off with the trophy.
No, we'll find somebody else to get off of that trophy.
Well, it's probably gonna be Daltrey if it's not you.
Yeah, probably.
Well, it'll be interesting to see where we stand. This is the halfway point of the season, right? Week 22 is our playoffs, so we're week 11. So we're getting there. Still probably about 7-8 weeks, I think, until trade deadline. So we're in good shape here, boys. It's going to be a very, very interesting race to the finish. I'm looking forward to seeing how it all plays out.
Yeah, some big matchups. It'll be interesting to see the standings when we get to like week 15's complete, right? Because then you've played every team once. There's a fair representation of where you lie. So
that's the real marker, right? That you look for is like, I ran through the gauntlet. This is what it looked like.
Exactly.
You know? Well, thanks for joining me, guys. It was a pleasure as always.
Thanks for having me. You know, it's always fun to talk hockey and have a guest on the show. New guest welcome, old guest welcome, anybody.
We do like us. I would love to get Braden on the show. One, because he just recently found out about the Braden bye week somehow. But two, I would love to see him bring the trophy on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to see Daltrey Sr. as well.
He's a big fan of the show. He watches the show.
I've never even met the guy.
He was at a draft one year. Were you not there?
I was probably really drunk.
No, you were there after. It was Nick had to bring his shoes.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it would be good to get him as well. I think there's only two, right? Who hasn't been on Casey? Casey's fairly new though. Yeah. So it'd be nice to get everyone on. But Braden's an OG. He was in the original draft, so it'd be nice to get him on the show since he's been in the league since the foundation.
Well, we know he doesn't watch the show, so he's not going to see this plea.
Says he watches it every now and then.
Well, maybe this week.
Somehow, though, avoids the Braden bye week. Or maybe he heard it. He's like, what the fuck are they talking about?
How does he not know that? My mind is boggled. I don't really believe he watches all because we talk about the Braden bye week every week.
Pretty much every week. Not so much this year, though. If you've been watching this year, we haven't really talked about it much.
About half the time.
Yeah. Anyway, good luck this week, guys. Except for you, Kyle. Fuck off.
Yeah, good luck overcoming 7-0, bitch.
No, not on Monday night. You probably had a goalie go too, right?
Yeah, Montembeault unexpectedly started against Arizona, so that's a bonus for me.
Oh, and I have veg in that game.
Yeah. Matchup.
That's it. All right. Good luck.
All right.
Hey, bye.